Giagweave, Tá fáilte romh fan seo inniu. Is Misha Vincent English, ó Enid Ódreachta Acla. Hello and welcome here today. My name is Vincent English from the Achill Heritage Centre. As you have heard on other videos, we are moving from our current location to the old disused monastery, namely the old stables. We had to do a lot of repairs to the old roof, replacing rotten rafters, replacing missing slates, and just to make it weathertight. Unfortunately, there was 3 beams in there that are gone beyond use. They're just rotted out of it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get 3 new beams, age them to look like old timber, and put them in place. And I'll show you step by step how we've done it. So we can end up with a beam just like this. The first step in this process is to rough up the face of the beam with an axe, chipping at the wood randomly, removing any loose bits. The main thing that makes wood look new is the sharp edges. So to remove this edge, I prefer to use a utility knife. The suppliers often add their name by laser printer to the wood, as well as some other information, like whether it was air dried or kiln dried. Of course, this is no place on a 170-year-old beam. And to remove this, I like to burn the wood where the writing is, and this also helps to age the beam. If you look at any old beam, you will always see traces of insect damage and woodworm, little pinholes in the wood. To add this effect, I screwed some screws into a scrap piece of timber, and you just hit the beam randomly. Another feature in old beams is cracks, and to add cracks to new timber, I just like to use the corner of the chisel and just run it through along with the grain. You can do it over a couple of times to deepen it. Don't be afraid to open up any of the cracks. It is 170 years old. So using the chisel, you can just remove any old loose pieces of wood. You'd often see beams with bolts going through them. There were other timber was attached to, maybe rafters. So to do this, just drill a little hole, a half-inch hole. You don't have to go through all the way, it's just for effect. And Then at the bolts would have usually a plate, a small little square plate attached to the end of it, just to stop from pulling the bolt through the wood when tightening. So to do this, just go around with your chisel. And remove it. And remove the clean lines again with your utility knife. So as well as bolts in the timber, you'd often also see nail markings, or where there was a nail driven through it. And to do this, just get an ordinary wire nail, put the head into the wood and just hit it. That's simple. And you can do that all along the bottom edge. So the last thing I like to do before applying stain is add lines to the wood, which is a common feature in old beams. And to use this, just take an ordinary handsaw and place the teeth into the wood and just drag it along. So the first coat I like to apply is a pine stain. It's just a standard over the counter stain that you get in any hardware. And just apply it with a cloth and apply it liberally. You don't have to go into every crack or joint or crevice. You pick that up with the second coat. So I left that dry for about an hour, and now to apply the second coat. So I like to use a walnut, a dark walnut, and apply it liberally again with a cloth. Make sure to cover the complete beam, getting into all the cracks, crevices. And you can go back over it, make sure you haven't missed any areas. After applying the stain to both sides, stand the beam up on its edge and remove any excess with a clean cloth and leave to dry. And there you go, folks, a 170-year-old beam. With little time, work and patience, anyone can achieve this result. After our last video, we were asked a lot about where can you find more information about the monastery project. But if you wanted to head over to our website, achillheritagecentre.com, you get more information up there. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like and share the video, it really does help. My name is Vincent English from the Achill Heritage Centre, and until next time, Slán agus Banach.